you haven't had one practice with me. You haven't had one game with me. How can you say that? She's just like, nothing's in stone. I just want to like prepare you mentally. And I said, I just want to let you know I'm the best guard you have, and I will win that spot.
Here's something that doesn't make sense. The most successful thing you can do in sports is sometimes walking away from success. Kelsey Plum was living every athlete's dream. Back-to-back WNBA champion, playing with superstars, making great money, part of a dynasty that could keep winning for years. So naturally, she threw it all away. She demanded a trade, left her championship team, walked away from guaranteed success to join one of the worst teams in the league, a team full of kids who were still learning how to be professionals. Everyone thought she'd lost her mind. The internet exploded. People called her crazy, selfish, jealous. But here's the thing about Kelsey Plum. She's been making decisions that don't make sense her entire career. And somehow, they keep working out.
Is that because we have 2 new teams coming in the league next year, it's likely that everyone's pick outside the lottery, so starting at pick 5, will likely move down 2 spots. So again, if it finished right now, Minnesota's pick will be the 16th, New York's would be the 15th, and so on.
But here's the crazy part. This isn't the first time Kelsey Plum has bet everything on herself. This isn't the first time people said she was making a huge mistake. Actually, her entire career has been one impossible decision after another. From being the number 1 draft pick that nobody wanted, to becoming a champion that nobody talks about, to now trying to save a franchise that most people think is hopeless. Kelsey Plum's story is about one thing: refusing to play it safe. And if you stick around for the next 15 minutes, I'm going to tell you why this latest gamble might be the most fascinating story in sports right now. But first, you need to understand how a kid from San Diego became the most misunderstood player in women's basketball. The story starts when Kelsey's a baby. And I mean literally a baby sitting in a high chair. Her dad would put food just out of reach and make her crawl to get it.
I'm looking around like, who are we yelling for, you know? And he was just like, do you know who this is? Like, he was like hyping me up. He's like, this one helped win us the gold. And I was like, shut up. And he was just like, whatever you need, you know? And so I had lines.
Yeah. I saw some clips, but I didn't see the full scene though.
No, but like, Brittany, the lines that they gave me, and then when I got there, he's like, we're not doing that.
You gotta take it, he'd tell her. Nothing's gonna be handed to you. Sounds harsh, right? But that was just how the Plum family worked. When teenage Kelsey wanted to try out for basketball, her parents didn't call the coach for her. They gave her the phone number and said, call him yourself, tell him you're coming. Most parents would handle everything for their kids. Not the Plums. They made Kelsey figure it out on her own. There's nothing free in this life, Kelsey says. If you want something, there's a bunch of excuses, but there's also a bunch of reasons why you can go get it. Now here's where it gets interesting. Kelsey grew up in a house full of volleyball players. Her mom played volleyball, her dad played volleyball. Both her sisters were amazing at volleyball, and guess what? Kelsey was better at volleyball than basketball. Way better. She had college scholarships lined up and everything.
So like I have to just like I had to do take after take of just being like brattier and brattier to him, like so disrespectful, like more condescending.
Did you like the coaching though?
Loved it.
So is that like this is kind of you like being coached hard?
I not the first time around the block being coached hard. Yeah.
Then one night she's watching TV and sees Diana Taurasi play against Tennessee. I've never seen a woman act like that, play like that, Kelsey remembers. The swag, the confidence, making all these different plays. She turns to her mom and says, I'm going to the WNBA. That's what I want to do. Think about that for a second. A kid who barely plays organized basketball, watching one game on TV and deciding that's her future. Her mom literally walked out of the room and cried because she knew how impossible it would be. But Kelsey got something from her dad that most people don't have, what she calls delusional confidence. Her dad calls everyone plumber and tells them the same thing. Plumber, you get what you expect in life. You better expect to win. So this kid who came off the bench in high school decided she was going to the University of Washington. Not because they were a powerhouse, they weren't.
You started out like wanting, maybe even having to like prove something. Like this is like, I gotta prove a lot, like when I'm entering the WNBA. And you sit here now as a 2-time WNBA champion, a 4-time WNBA All-Star, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 3-on-3 and 5-on-5.
She picked them because she wanted to build something from scratch. She wanted to take a program that nobody cared about and make it special. And that's exactly what she did. By her senior year, she was the best scorer in all of college basketball. But the moment that changed everything happened on senior night. The all-time NCAA scoring record was 3,527 points, held by Jackie Stiles. Kelsey needed 55 points to break it. Most people would be nervous. Most people would feel the pressure. Not Kelsey Plum. She scored 57 points. But here's the crazy part. She woke up that morning feeling terrible. Her whole body hurt. She felt sick. And during the game, she kept thinking, how many shots do I gotta make before they stop treating me like I can't score? See, Utah kept going under on screens.
Arrived, I think, would be like at the end, in my opinion. To be honest, and like until like I helped turn the sparks around, no.
Okay. So that feels like a little bit of a, not a bucket list, but a little bit of like a checklist almost. Like, I've done this, I've done that. Oh, I haven't.
They kept daring her to shoot. Even when she had 30 points, then 40, then 50, they kept going under. The Utah coach that night, Lynn Roberts, she's Kelsey's coach in LA. Lynn told her recently that an assistant came up before the game and said, hey, you know Plum needs 50-something to break the record, right? Lynn's response? Yeah. She didn't change anything, kept going under on screens. And then that actually happened, Lynn told her. 57 points, game over, record broken. That's the Kelsey Plum mentality right there. Not, can I do this, but how long are you gonna keep disrespecting me before you figure out who you're dealing with? If you're loving this deep dive into what makes athletes tick, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we break down these stories every week. Now, you'd think breaking the biggest record in college basketball would set someone up perfectly for the pros, right? You'd be completely wrong.
Like in the off season, it was just more of like making a decision. Okay, like if you're really as good as you think you are, and like you really think you have everything it takes, go do it. So like that's to this answer, we have not arrived.
Okay.
Short answer.
Okay.
Draft night 2017, Kelsey Plum gets picked number 1 overall by San Antonio. This should be the best night of her life, right? The moment all that confidence pays off. Nope. Total disaster. We walked outside and I was just confused, Kelsey remembers. I got drafted, but they basically told me, we don't really know what to do with you. Wait, what? You're the number 1 pick and the team doesn't know what to do with you. That makes no sense. But it gets worse. When I got there, they made it very clear. We don't want you here, but you're here, so we'll figure something out. Think about how crushing that must be. You just broke every record possible in college. You get drafted first. And then the team tells you they wish they picked someone else. Kelsey averaged 8.5 points per game her rookie year. For someone who averaged 31 in college, that felt like complete failure.
Still a part of you? Is it still fueling you? Or has it changed because you've had some success?
Well, I think it's funny because like number 1 picks, I agree with you that there's always something, right?
Always.
I do think mine was a little bit more nuanced because I didn't get handed any keys.
Before the season, there were polls asking fans how many points she'd average. Everyone said 20. In the WNBA, only 2 or 3 players hit 20 points per game each year. I saw those predictions and thought, I'm screwed, Kelsey says. Who can live up to this? But here's what separates Kelsey from every other struggling number 1 pick. She didn't quit. She didn't make excuses. She went overseas to Turkey to play for Fenerbahce, one of the toughest teams in Europe. Not exactly a confidence builder for someone already struggling. Looking back now, getting all those hard hits early was the best thing that could have happened, she says. There's nothing you can throw at me now that's going to shake me emotionally. She figured it out. By the end of that season in Turkey, she won MVP of the Turkish League Finals. More importantly, she learned something huge. You can't go any lower than this. So what are you going to do? Give up or fight back? Year 2, San Antonio moves to Las Vegas. Fresh start, right? Wrong again. New coach Bill Laimbeer pulls her aside on day 1 and says, listen, I'm trying to trade you. Just like that. No sugarcoating. He said my value had gone down, so he couldn't get what he wanted for me. So he's like, I'm just going to sit on you. I'll play you enough to maybe get your value back up, but you're not my type of player. Bill likes tall, athletic guards who can jump out of the gym. Kelsey's different. She's smart, crafty, sees the game differently. As Sue Bird puts it, Bill's system is where point guards go to die. But remember that delusional confidence. Kelsey looks Bill right in the eye and says, by the end of this year, I'm going to win the starting spot and you're going to have to trade your favorite player instead. Most people would never say that to their coach. Kelsey said it on day 1. And guess what? She was right. She just kept working, kept proving herself, never backed down. Every practice, every game, just chipping away. 2022, first championship. Finally, all that confidence paid off. 2023, back-to-back championships. She's part of what might be the greatest backcourt in WNBA history with Jackie Young and Chelsea Gray. She had everything. Championships, respect, money, a chance at more titles. She was living the dream. So why did she throw it all away? Here's what nobody talks about when you're part of a super team. Everybody wants to be the star. You've got 4 amazing players, Kelsey, Jackie, Chelsea, and Aja Wilson, and they all want their shots, their moments, their recognition. After a while, you start feeling underappreciated, Kelsey admits. It's not about points or money. It's about feeling like, okay, I'm taking less money to stay here. I'm setting screens for everyone else. I'm doing the dirty work, but am I becoming the fourth option? And they weren't winning anymore. The three-peat attempt failed. The pressure was crazy. Kelsey says every game felt like the Super Bowl when you're trying to repeat as champions. But there was something deeper bothering her, something that kept her up at night. I kept thinking, can I ever reach my full potential here? I know I have way more in the tank. I know I can lead a team. But that opportunity just isn't here. So she made a decision that shocked everyone. She asked to be traded from a dynasty, from a team that could win championships every year, to the Los Angeles Sparks, a team that hadn't made the playoffs in forever. Let that sink in. She had everything most players dream of and walked away from it all. Why? I would hate to be old someday, sitting with my grandkids, wondering what if I had tried, she made my chipmate, she says. But the gamble gets even crazier when you see what she's walking into. The Sparks are really young, like learning how to be professional young. Kelsey has to teach them basic stuff like showing up early to practice, how to prepare mentally, what it means to be a pro. When you're on a veteran team, you forget what being professional even means, she explains. You don't think about it until you're like, oh right, practice is at 11, so I should probably be here at 9. The responsibility is completely different in her new role. When you're a role player and you have a bad game, maybe it affects the outcome, maybe it doesn't. But when you're the leader, everything I do or don't do completely changes what happens. She says, early in her time with the Sparks, it looked like maybe the critics were right. The team struggled. They were near the bottom of the standings. The internet was brutal. But then something started clicking. Young players like Rickea Jackson started making incredible plays. Kelsey describes a practice where Rickea blocked a dunk at the rim against male practice players. I've never seen anything like that from a woman before. The gamble might actually be working, but then came the moment that made her the most hated player on social media. All-Star Weekend, everything's going great. Kelsey's team won the skills competition. Her family's there. Everyone's having fun. She goes into the press conference feeling good, trying to keep things light. Someone asks about some players missing a union meeting. And Kelsey, thinking she's being funny, makes a joke about Team Clark, probably being too hungover to make it to the meeting either. The internet went nuclear. She's jealous of Caitlin Clark? Dirty player? So embarrassing. The comment sections became a war zone. I was just making a joke, Kelsey explains. Our team's nickname was literally hungover that weekend. I was saying at least we showed up. Obviously, we're all on the same page. We all wore the Unity shirts together. But here's the thing. This controversy perfectly shows why Kelsey Plum has always been polarizing. She speaks her mind. She doesn't filter herself. She makes jokes that might not land perfectly, but come from a real place. One commenter nailed it. If she was a man, she'd be celebrated like Charles Barkley or Shaq. And that might be the most honest thing said in this whole mess. Because while people are arguing about jokes and personalities, Kelsey Plum is putting up elite numbers. She's leading a young team that nobody expected to compete. She's proving that sometimes the biggest risk is exactly what you need to find out who you really are. The goal is always playoffs, she says when asked what success looks like. Winning and making an impact. You learn so much in the playoffs. That's what you can build on. From that high chair where her dad made her reach for food, to breaking college records, to struggling as a number one pick, to winning championships, to walking away from everything safe to bet on herself one more time, Kelsey Plum's story is about someone who refuses to be comfortable. Maybe that's why people either love her or hate her. Maybe that's why her confidence rubs some people the wrong way while inspiring others. Maybe that's why she's exactly the kind of player the WNBA needs as it grows bigger than anyone imagined. Because at the end of the day, Kelsey Plum doesn't care if you love her or hate her. She just cares about proving that the kid who told her mom she was going to the WNBA after watching one game wasn't crazy at all. She was just getting started. What do you think? Is Kelsey Plum an inspiring champion or just overconfident? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and smash that subscribe button because we're diving deep into what really makes elite athletes tick. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.